Hey, Grand Rising family, this is Chief Kalanago with another video. Yes, I know it's early, but I went to bed a little early last night and I got some great rest, and I hope you did too as well. And I hope that you're looking forward to a beautiful, blissful day, a day with a lot of positive things happening to you. And yes, you could have such a day because at the ending of the day, really, it's what you put out, you're going to get. So if you believe that you will have a great day, and not just believe, okay, but you do the things that will allow you to have a good day or a great day, indeed, you will have a great day. All right. Family videos are strictly for the uplifting of the people, the awakening of the people. Again, videos from a different perspective. I want you to open up your mind, okay? See things differently. I want you to hear things differently. That is my goal. And once again, my goal is to elevate you to the next level, okay? Take you away from that so-called conscious community, because again, people have the wrong conception of what the word conscious means. All conscious means is to be aware. That's all it means, to be aware. It for some reason, it is not a community. How can conscious be a community when the word in itself means to be aware? An aware community? Okay, that's a possibility, but aware of what? Aware of lies, misinformation, you know? And whether you want to call it I'm hating, fine. I just don't like it, just like I don't like churches on every corner, because it's misleading our people. All right. They are playing on our people's emotions, and I don't like that. And my goal is to take you away from that, take you to the next level again in your elevation, in your enlightenment. All right. So here we go, family. Here we go. All right. So, I had one person, who was, for the past couple of videos, who was coming and trying to be a disagreeable, and one thing you'll realize with me, I don't engage in combative, arguments on post. I don't do that. All right. Um, if I do a video and you don't like it, there is a dislike button. You could show your dislike. It's okay. If you have a comment to make, sure, you could give your opinion and disagree. That's fine. But don't disrespect me. Don't make it personal, please. All right. And if you do, again, I'm not going to go with the back and forth. I'm just going to delete you. You see, that's all, because I am not going to engage. I am really, really above all that childish stuff. I am really, really above it. You know what I mean? So again, I'm not doing videos for you to dislike, like, or subscribe. No, I'm just doing the information so that you would see things from a different perspective. You may agree, you may not agree. It's okay. It's all right. I'm just giving the information. All right. I'm just giving the information because I love you, and that's why I do what I do. So in today's video, family, I'm going to talk about a few things, but my main focus is about giving you some information that may assist you in, or guide you in, making a paradigm shift in your thinking, in a lot of our behaviors that we teach our children, that we practice as adults, and then our children, they have adopted it. And one of the things that I'm going to talk about is about being a consumer. All right, this is the word right here, consumers. What you need to realize is this: consumers always get consumed. Now, you would think it's the other way around, right? If you're a consumer, you know what I mean? So, whatever you're consuming will be depleted. Hmm? Now, if you think of it from that perspective, that may work for you. But in the context that I'm using the word consuming, or a consumer, it's really detrimental to our people. And I'm going to explain to you why. Because when you are a consumer, again, it is the same concept of you are what you eat. Now, if you eat junk, you will look like junk because that's what you are consuming. All right. Same thing with your thoughts. Again, remember, your thoughts are your most precious jewels. So you have to protect your mind. Get it? Your thought mind, like a gold mine, a diamond mind. So you have a thought mind. So you have to protect it. Because after all, there's a proverb that says, whatever a man thinketh, so is he. It's the same concept. Whatever you consume, that's what you become. So our people are consumers. And what you need to realize is this: that came from the slave plantation. They taught our people how to be consumers. Because everything in this country was built on the backs of our ancestors. And I do mean every single thing. Every single thing in this country was built on the back of our ancestors. And that's the honest truth. So, but it was done, some of it voluntarily, but most of it involuntary, with the whip, with the gun to our ancestors' heads. So they literally built this country, okay, by being enslaved. So it was built on their backs. But here's the new form of slavery, though. You see, they don't have the whips and the chains and the guns to our head right now. Well, in some places they actually do, but it's not as blatant. The physical slavery is not as blatant as it used to be. So now it is systematic. It is in the teaching of our children. Because even today, this whole structure is still being built on the backs of our people. And I'm going to explain to you what I mean. Because yes, they don't have a whip whooping you. They don't have a gun to your head telling you, hey, you know what? You got to be on the plantation from 6 to 6. No, they don't have that. However, they are teaching you every little dime that you have in your pocket, you need to go spend it. Go spend it on people and with people that don't look like you. So literally, that whole structure is still being built from your pockets, but with the work that you put in. So by default, it's on your back. Is the same concept or the same principle, just a different way of implementing their tactics. So family, we have to wake up from that. We have to stop teaching our children to be consumers. Our value doesn't necessarily have to always be in a big screen TV, the car that we drive, designer bags and designer clothes and sneakers and, designer makeup. Our value doesn't have to be in those things. We have to stop teaching our children that. Our value doesn't have to be in the best phone that you have. One of the disagreeables came at me and said, well, if you're a chief, where's your land? Why do I have to prove to you that the only way for me to be a chief is to show you that I have land? I do have land, but I'm not going to come on here and brag about it. Is that going to give me value? Is it going to make me a better person? Huh? How many people had land and they got it taken away from them? It's what's up here that counts. Okay, you see, I have something that's priceless, that money cannot buy. I got intelligence. I got wisdom. So, family, stop being consumers. It is literally eating our people away. Okay? Everything, once again, is being built on our backs. You want proof? Look at our neighborhoods. How many businesses in your neighborhood that's owned by us? As a matter of fact, last week I went to a Korean fruit stand, because it's not too many fruit stands that's owned by us in our own communities, and it aches me, it hurts me that that's where I have to go spend my money. I'm gonna keep it real. I have no problem with commerce and supporting people that don't look like me, but it has to be reciprocated. They have to be able to be given back to the community, and they don't. And it's time that we stop doing that, like seriously. So I went to the Korean guy. He's cool because I'm always in there. So, we have become cordial. But one day he was talking to one of his workers, a brother from IET, and he was talking down at him. And I wasn't going to stand for it. I said, my brother, don't allow anybody to talk to you that way. I don't care if they give you a job or they feed you. Don't let nobody make you feel less than a man. So he was like, well, he's not doing this and I'm the boss. I said, listen, man, I don't care what you say. Don't disrespect my brother, man. Period. I stood up for that brother. And every single day from that day, that brother always makes sure every time I pass, he say, what's up, chief? Now, I'm not saying that to impress you. I'm saying that to impress upon you something else that happened. So every time I went into that store, the same dude, the Korean dude, gave me my respect. Now he started calling me chief. Now I wasn't looking for any accolades, but we became cool to the point where we started actually having conversations. And just last week, I went up in there to get some fruits. And I called him by his name. I said, X and X. I said, listen, man, how can we become partners? Because there's a few locations out here in Brooklyn that's getting vacant because the dynamics of our neighborhoods are changing and they're shutting down certain businesses, right? I'm thinking of opening up a fruit stand in one of those, vacant buildings. Or how can we become partners? He partners? What you mean, partner? I said, you know what I'm talking about, man. I said, meaning that you and I go into business together, open up a store together. It's about time that the store owners in our community start looking like us. So I want to go into business. How can we do that? So he started laughing. I said, yo, I'm serious, man. So when he realized I was serious, I wasn't joking, he tell me, you know what? Come talk to him. We could talk. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I am going to make an effort. And if I am serious about it, I am going to make it happen. The point I'm trying to make is this. We are the ones who have to take responsibility as to what happens and who flourished, what business flourished, and what flourished in our neighborhoods. Because it's our neighborhoods. Our neighborhoods have people who are predominantly look like us. That's why it's called our neighborhoods. And we should put ourselves in a position to own the businesses in our communities. That is our responsibility. Because it doesn't make sense that every time you get your paycheck, that the first thing that comes to mind is going to give your money away. Give it away to people who are not giving it back or who are not supporting your community. So in other words, they are always taking. They are always taking. Now, family, if you have a well, okay, if you have a well and somebody's constantly taking water out of your well and they're not putting anything back, what do you think is going to happen eventually? That's right. That well is going to be dried up. And family, our people are dried up. Their resources have been depleted because they are only giving it away. They are consumers, and we have to stop teaching our children that. Stop teaching them that the value of who they are is what they have in their pockets or what they have in their homes. How about buying some land? How about teaching them about group economics? You see, I'll tell you something. Successful people don't hold on to money, but yet still they are never broke. I'm going to teach you a little something. Successful people don't hold on to money, but they are never broke. They are always investing in something. Successful people don't save money. The slave masters taught our people that concept of saving money, because when you save money, guess what? Something always happens for you to spend that money. You know why? Because money is called currency. Again, I'm going to repeat that. Money is called currency. And what's a current? What is it coherent to? It's coherent to flowing water. The river, the sea, what it tells you, be careful, the current might pull you in. That's why money is called currency. It was meant to flow. Money can never be stagnant. That's why you cannot save money. You shouldn't save money because it has energy. It needs to keep moving. That's why when you put your money in a bank, they don't just let it sit around. They take your money and they invest it. The only thing is you don't know it's being invested. And then you get 0.0 minus 2%. That's because they owe you that interest, not because you put their money in their bank to be saved. No, it's because they are investing your money. So money is never saved. Now you think you have a saving account. Oh, when I'm saving this, no. You are literally giving them your money with the idea of thinking it's being saved, but they are investing it. So you don't have a saving account. You have an investment account. But the sad thing about it is you are not the investor. But yet still you are the one putting up the money. And you are not getting anything in return. So you have to start teaching your children to start looking at stocks. Stop teaching them every time they get a little $50 bill or $100 bill. I got to buy a phone. I got to buy the next game. I got to buy your next pair of sneakers. Teach them how to invest. How can you take $50 and turn it into 60? How can you turn it into 75? How can you turn it into 100? How can you take it to make 150 or 200? How about taking your $50? You know what, son, daughter? Summer is coming up. Why don't you learn how to make lemonade and open up a lemonade stand in front of the house? Teach them how to invest. Start teaching them about stocks. Because you see, there is no balance. There is no balance. Because we are always giving. They're always taking. Eventually, family, you're going to vanish. So at what point are you going to wake up and stop consuming? Stop consuming. Stop saving money. Start investing. You always hear successful people say, well, you know what? My money is tied up in this and that investment, because they don't save money. They don't save money. That is a bad practice that the slave masters taught you, because they know when your money is being saved, that means it's not being put to work. You will find something to do with it. You know why? Because money has energy. It has energy, and something in the universe is going to happen where you have to go get it. Because money shouldn't and wasn't meant to be stagnant. It's called currency. It has to always keep flowing. So you have to start letting your money flow in the direction of investments so that you could get a return on your money. That is the mindset that we have to start thinking. Because everything was built on our backs. Everything is still being built on our backs. Okay, you know what? Here's a few ideas. We love nice things. Fine, there is nothing wrong with that because that's just in our genetics. Because we are the children of the people who civilized the world. So that's fine. Because we had all the gold. We had it. We had all the diamonds. All those things belong to us. So that's fine. There is nothing wrong with that. But what I'm saying is, we like nice cars. So why can't a few engineers come together and say, you know what? Why don't we create a car that our own people manufacture and sell to our people? Why can't we do it? Okay, you know what? All right, so this is how our sisters should be thinking. You know what? I love makeup. So why don't we, a group of sisters, come together, do some research, and let's create our own makeup. Let's create our own lipstick. You know what? Yes, I have my natural hair, and sometimes I want to accessorize. There is nothing wrong with that, although I prefer sisters with their natural hair. But you know what? This is not about weaves, and it's not about that. So why don't we say a group of sisters come together and find out how we could manufacture our own weaves? Huh? If we have to start from going, to the manufacturers and getting it wholesale and come do what these Koreans and Chinese are doing in our neighborhoods. Yes, it may be tough because they may not open up the market for us at first. But then let's rally as a group of sisters and say, you know what? We are not going to buy these things unless we, as the consumers, have a say at that table. Huh? Okay, you know what? We like big screen TVs. We like electronics, whatever it is. So why don't we, a group of brothers and sisters, come together and say, okay, let's get in touch with these companies and say, you know what, man? We want to create a brand of our own. You know what? They may give us a hard time. But why don't we say as a people, you know what? We're going to stop supporting these things unless we're sitting at the table. And I'm serious about this. I am serious about it. In every single thing that we are spending our money or giving our energy, I think that we should be sitting at the table. That's just my personal opinion. We should be sitting at the table. Because it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense, family. And we sit around and complain. We complain about a system that's not fair to us. Think about it. Is the system really not fair to you, or you're not doing what you're supposed to do? Because it seemed to be working for everybody else. How come every time that we look at our situations, it has to be black or white? What happened to the people in between? I don't hear the Caucasians complaining. I mean, the Asians complaining, which is considered the yellow people. I don't hear the so-called other, ethnic groups complaining. Why does it always have to be a black and white thing? Because you see, that is what they taught you. You call it white supremacy, when it's really not white supremacy. It is just a principle or a concept that's oppressing people. And you have all sorts of different hue of people in that bracket of what you call white supremacy. So literally, what's happening to our people is because we allow it to happen to us. because nobody put a gun to your head to go support the store owner that's in your neighborhood that don't look like you. Look at Do the Right Thing from Spike Lee. I think it's time we start going back and watching that movie again. It's about time that we start having our people run our business in our neighborhoods. And it's really, 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 really simple. My sisters, stop teaching your children that materialistic things is more important than what's inside. You see, once you start getting a real value and love of self and knowing who you are, then it will teach you how to appreciate you. Therefore, it will teach you how to appreciate how you spend your money. Because instead of teaching our little girls how to go sit in beauty salons and nail salons and support people who don't look like them, start teaching them how to open up their own. Start teaching them how to open up their own. That's what we have to do. Because we have the power. In one day, they call Christmas, our people spend over $3.1 billion. Not million, billion. How much of that money came back into our communities? Even when it comes to policing our own neighborhoods, they police our neighborhoods because we allow them to. We have the right to self-governance as indigenous peoples of the Americas. We have the right to form our own tribal police forces. We have that right. But do we exercise the right? No. And I'm not going to go into the misclassification. I've done videos on that. So when your son or your daughter is walking down the street and they're just pulled to the side and they're abused by the authorities because of how they look, whose fault is that? Is it because you're black? No, it's not because you're black. It's because of your ignorance. It's because of the lack of unity. That's what it is. Because you're not putting your resources together to control your own environment. That's what it is. It's not because you are so-called black. At what point are we going to start taking responsibility and stop blaming everything that happens to us on everybody else except ourselves? No, I'm not saying when the police kills a brother or a sister, I'm not saying that it's moral. I'm not saying that it's right. But how come when they do it, it's police brutality? When they do it, you want to burn down neighborhoods. But yet still you have brothers killing brothers in our neighborhoods. And nobody says a damn thing about it. Oh, you know what, man? They had some beef, man. I wish, Junebug just took out Ray Ray or Tay Tay, man. Yeah, that's sad, man. That's messed up. And then you put some candles on the corner. You go to the store, you get a beer. Oh, yeah, this the Junebug, man. You know what I'm saying? The fallen soldier, man. You know what I'm saying? What happened to the rallies in your own neighborhoods? 95% of the times, y'all know who the perpetrator is. But you have this code, snitches get stitches. Huh? Call me a snitch if you want to. I'm not going to know anybody in my neighborhood that killed another brother or sister, and I'm not going to talk. I am going to talk. So it's about time we start taking responsibility, family. We have to. We have to. And we have to start teaching our children, because it seems that the adults are gone. They are gone because all they want to do is turn up and smoke weed. And I'm not saying everybody. Don't get me wrong. Because everybody don't smoke. I don't smoke. But the point I'm trying to make is, my sisters and brothers, we as indigenous peoples of the Americas, we have every single right to have our own. And we have to get in touch with these companies. All these as a matter of fact, I wonder if I could show it to you, but I got the number for AT&T and Verizon, and I called their investment department. I called headquarters asking them how I could buy airtime so I could come up with a phone that our people could own. Family, I am trying, but I can't do it alone. I can't do it alone. I mean, they trying to give me the runaround, but I'm being persistent. Because that's what all of them do. Metro, PCS, all these little phone companies. They just buy airtime. Airtime is free. Okay? We have these people, they have a monopoly on our lives, on every facet of our lives, family. Even the air that we breathe. Airtime is free, but they are selling it to us. So I called these companies and I said, listen, I am Chief such and such, and I'm calling to see how I could get some airtime or invest in some airtime because my own people need our own phone lines. They keep sending me from that department to that department, but I'm going to be persistent. But if we were to say, you know what? We're going to stop buying your phones. We're going to stop buying your phones unless we are at the table making those decisions. We want to invest. We want to have a phone that reflects our people, that we are spending our money. We want some returns on our investment. Family, why can't we do that? I mean, literally think about it, man. Think about it. So at some point, my brothers and sisters, we have to wake up from this coma that we are in. We have to. And it starts within our neighborhoods. It is not that difficult. Okay? My sisters, here's a few solutions. Get a group of sisters together in every single neighborhood that you're at. Do some flyers. It doesn't have to be anything expensive. And go in front of beauty salons and give it to them. Say, listen, it's about time we start doing our own nails. It's about time we start doing our own nails. So let's hold some community meetings and figure out how we're going to do this. I don't care if we get a community center and every Saturday we bring all the sisters in that community center and y'all sit down and do each other's nails. Why do you always have to think the Caucasians or not the Caucasians, but the Asians could always do it better than you? No. They can't do it better than you. They went to school and learned how to do it. They realize, you know what? These people are very materialistic. They are flamboyant. They like to show off. So I'm going to learn everything about them and come sell it to them and come cater to them. You think Asians grew up knowing how to do nails? These people don't even do their damn nails. They bite their nails. So how are you going to tell me they do nails better than you? No, they don't do nails better than you. They learned how to do nails. They went to school to do it so that they could come take your money. So why can't you do it? Huh? So that's what you need to do. Come together as a community of sisters every weekend. Pull your daughters out of these salons and say, this is how we do. Let's create our own. You know what? I'm going to pay my sister $15 to do my nails. And she's going to pay me $15 to do her nails. So what did you just do? You kept the money between yourselves and you just did the form of bartering, what we used to do before. So now you got $30 you could put into something else. It's about time we start thinking group economics. Huh? Brothers, we like nice things. We like nice cars. Yes, ain't nothing wrong with that. But how about a bunch of brothers who say, listen, we're not going to buy these cars unless we start sitting at this table. Why can't we do that? Why can't we do that? Guess what? We have the right as indigenous people to have our own tribal police in our own neighborhoods. They can't stop us. That's our right. Why can't we do that? For family, it's time to wake up. And again, I'm leaving my email for people who are serious about moving forward and coming together and doing things. It's about time we start taking control of our neighborhoods. In all our neighborhoods, they're putting up buildings and kicking us out. We have no say as to what's happening in our own communities. Why is that? Because you see, our people don't care. You get up, you go to work, you come home, you watch TV, and that's it. You come on social media and you play the games on social media. And that's it. And you don't care about what's happening in your neighborhoods until it's time for you to get kicked out. All of a sudden, you ain't got a place to stay. Now it becomes real. Why do we always have to wait until things happen to us for us to wake up? Why can't we be proactive? You don't get insurance because you plan on getting into a car accident. You don't get house insurance because you plan on getting your house burnt down. No, you get it just in case. Just in case. So that means you have to prepare yourself. Prepare yourself. Why can't we start homeschooling our children? Or you know what? Maybe you don't have the time, you're working. Why don't we come together as a people and say, guess what? We are going to buy this building right here so we could homeschool our children. Why can't we do that? We have every single right to do that. They cannot prevent us from doing that. They could try, but only if we allow them to. This is our home. And we need to be in control of what happened to us in our own land. Period. Bottom line. So I'm doing these videos to get you to start thinking. We may not own 1,000 stores at one time. But why can't we come together and say, you know what? We're going to open up one fruit stand at a time. 10, 15, 20 of us. Let's come together. Let's open up one fruit stand. That's one we have. And let's support it. Eventually, we could take the profits from that one and open up another one. Isn't that what the Asians do? Isn't that what Caucasians do? Isn't that what the Arabs do in our neighborhoods? Why can't we do it? Every single business owned in our neighborhood don't look like us. But the money is all the same. It's still one color, green. But we keep giving away our greens. Stop saving money and invest money. And I hope a lot of you young children and young teenagers are looking at this video so y'all could stop this perpetual cycle of slavery. Because a lot of these adults, they are gone. They are gone. That's why a purge is needed. Purge out all this infectious people, man. For real. Family, I love y'all, and that's why I do these videos, man. It's time we start having this mindset. We have to start changing. It's time that we stop being consumers and become investors. It's about time. Again, the GoFundMe is below. Please support it. I'm in the process of trying to open up, I'm gonna open up a massage therapy business. And I'm asking you to help, with some donations. But what I'm gonna do also, I'm gonna use some of those funds, and I want to do some flyers. And I'm gonna go to all the high schools and give them out. No, I don't know what's gonna happen with it, but I want to reach out to the young children in the high schools. I want to start getting that information out there to them. I'm going to see if I can start holding some community meetings. Hopefully they will come. But if I give out 100 flyers, hopefully I will get 10. I will get 10 children who could come, or 10 teenagers. But I want to do some flyers, even if it's 5,000 flyers, and go to these high schools or the train stations in the morning and give it to them. See if they will come out and get some of that knowledge, because something got to be done. And I can't do it alone. I need your help. I wish there were more people in Brooklyn that have the same mindset that I have, because I'm not seeing them. For some reason, I feel so alone. I feel so alone, family. And it's hard. It's disheartening, man. It's disheartening. And I just need some help. So once again, this is Chief Kalanago with another video. I love you guys, and that's why I do these videos. Please share the information. Talk to you soon. Peace.